This is not where I was supposed to end up.
Thanks for coming. I was waiting for you. I need your assistance to make the world white and change it into a happy and peaceful society. Will you become my right-hand assistant?
No thanks. I just want to get back home.
If you don't want to be my right hand, my left would be just fine. Just kidding.
Your existence is a problem for me and my religion.
Defy me, and I'll end your pitiful game.
Okay, so this is coming out way later than expected. My job has been crazy, and I haven't really had any time to work on a video, let alone draw. So I'm gonna have to break this up into 2 parts and reuse my old footage because I really don't have any time to myself anymore. Hi, Future Me here. I need to mention that I forgot to do the fun, little fun quirky thing you're supposed to do, and actually speed up the speed paint. In the way iMovie is set up, I can't really speed it up without displacing all 400 audio clips. So y'all are stuck with me coloring slow as crap in real time, and I'm so sorry. I recommend doing something else while this video plays, and I'll play this noise when I need y'all to read something on screen. Again, I'm so sorry, lesson learned, Future Me out.
Slags off iMovie.
Anyway, I've been going back and forth on whether or not to really talk about this situation for the longest time. Like, it always bothered me, but I could never really bring myself to talk about it, But as I said in my last video, Just Robot's trying to create a new narrative, and I refuse to let that happen.
Firstly, what narrative? Please elaborate. From what I've heard, we're all on the same page about prison mate Luke being an ass. Secondly, why do you refuse to let it happen? How is it affecting you? Or anyone you care about?
Even if I'm talking to the void, I just need to get my personal opinion out.
You don't need to get your views out. You want to get your views out.
I feel like Jar's response video to Prison Mate Luke and its positive reception plays into a much bigger problem with how the overall commentary community treats racism. More specifically, how they treat anti-black racism. And I feel like the Prison Mate Luke video is the perfect starting point. But before I get into the video, let me give a quick summary. A few months ago, a commentary channel by the name of Prison Mate Luke created the video Just Robot is Just Racist. The video, as you can guess, called out Jar for his racist actions. These actions included, but are not limited to, saying racial slurs multiple times.
No, all he did was quote someone. Even then, saying a word doesn't make you a racist. And he said it 3 years ago. Get over it.
Doing blackface.
No, it's just in the same art style. And if having a black avatar, when you're white, makes you a racist, then may I introduce you to Ponder Sprocket.
Defending the Confederate flag.
And the funniest part to me is that it's really easy to find it all. In fact, it started off like this. One of his first videos was on the Confederate flag, where the video just boils down to the flag isn't racist because there were black slave owners, and that just because a few racists use the flag, it doesn't make it racist.
No, that's not what my whole argument boils down to in any way, shape, or form. And I did say this about the Confederate flag.
I just want to make something very clear. I am not a fan of the Confederate flag. However, I do think censoring it will make things worse.
And this about the American flag.
Technically, the American flag is a symbol of racism. Under that flag, Americans have killed several Native Americans. Put Japanese people in internment camps just because they were Japanese. And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
This is the closest example I could find to me calling the Confederate flag not racist, even though I didn't say it once in the video. I'm just trying to point out that the Confederate flag, while it can be a symbol of racism, it doesn't have to be, just like with the American flag. No nation or flag is perfect, and they all have a bit of a dark history behind them. All I did was mention there were black slave owners, and that's about it. You do this a lot, actually. You take one point from someone and say, this is what the whole video boils down to. Not once in a video did I say the Confederate flag isn't racist.
I went over these in my last video, so please watch it if you have the chance.
No, please don't.
In response to Luke's video, Jar released his own video called My Response, in which he took some accountability, made excuses, and apologized. It really wasn't good in my opinion, but it was a step in the right direction, so I gave him some leeway. I'll link it in the description so you guys can form your own opinions. However, also in response to Luke's video, the commentary community did what it does best and collectively decided to defend blatant ignorance and racism. Because the community gassed him up, Jar released his awful response video called Prison Mate Luke's Fundamentally Flawed Video on Me. And that is the video I'm reacting to today. I'd say go watch these 2 videos yourselves, but according to Jar, he and Luke squashed their beef, so they're both gone. Yes, A.
White man!
Arguing with another
White man!
on what is or isn't offensive to black people. Only the frolic in the sunset hand in hand when we're not looking. Yes, that's just peak allyship right there. It's not like black people are, actually affected by the things y'all are beefing about.
No, it doesn't.
And are potentially hurt by this situation. None of that, right? Yes, love this community. Anyway, that's the summary. Now I need to give 3 disclaimers and then I promise we'll get started on the video. Number 1, I'm just one singular black person, meaning I speak for myself alone. Black people aren't a monolith and this is all just my personal opinion. People don't have to agree with me and that's fine. Just don't tell me or other black folks how to feel about anti-blackness and we'll be good. Number 2, this is not about canceling Just a Robot. This is about holding him accountable for his actions, something this community refuses to do for whatever reason.
It's because they have a brain. Unlike you.
So I'm going to use my normal voice for this video because a lot of people have a hard time understanding me when I use the robot voice, and I feel like with a serious subject like this, I should use my real voice. I recently made a second apology for the whole Toby situation, and then I thought everything was finally over. Literally the next day, PrisonMate Luke made another video about me. Most of my videos are pretty hard to debunk or do commentaries on.
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Who has been saying that?
You're not funny.
Okay, this is a petty nitpick, but bro, just because your peers are irresponsible and didn't check you doesn't mean that your videos are hard to debunk, trust me.
And you're about to prove him right.
But not all of my points are perfect in every single video, and I knew one day someone would comb through a bunch of my videos and make a compilation of a lot of the things I have said.
Okay, first of all, bro, if you said so many bigoted things that people can make compilation videos, that's a you problem, that's not us. Like, that, you need to look in the mirror. Like, I can only work with material given to me. You said these things. You're the source material. These are the consequences of your actions. Second, we're not asking you to be perfect. We're asking you to not use racial slurs and then arguing with black people about the context of the racial slur.
So you're not allowed to disagree with black people now. Interesting.
Now, PrisonMate Luke is well known for either lying about things, taking things out of context, or just giving the least charitable interpretation possible.
Okay, I'm counting that as my word choice was unfortunate. Alright, so far so bad.
What?
He has been called out by people like Just Stop, Spocter, and even Pyrocynical. His response to Just Stop was just god-awful, and Just Stop debunked him in the comments section. It's pretty pathetic that a 16-year-old made you this upset, Luke.
Okay, I kinda touched on this on the pinned comment of my last video, but I'm gonna be blunt. I don't care about PrisonMate Luke. I don't. I'm sorry. He's definitely done things worthy of criticism, but I'm pretty much indifferent to him.
And your point is?
And later, Just Stop made a follow-up video covering Luke's response to him. And in that video, Just Stop defended me from a few of the claims that PrisonMate Luke made about me. Now, by no means was Just Stop the first person to defend me. That would be iBullyBullies. And a lot of other smaller creators defended me as well. My personal favorite video defending me was the one made by Carmen Ryder. A link to their video along with all the other videos defending me will be linked down below. But I know what a few of you are going to say, but these guys are white. Only black people should be allowed to speak on race.
Okay, first of all, no, we're saying that only black people can speak on what is or isn't anti-black. Non-black people will never experience anti-black racism and therefore do not have the range for this conversation.
Sorry, but your race shouldn't dictate what you should or shouldn't talk about.
Well, if you feel that way, then you should check out Shady Do-Rag's video. He's a black guy, and he's probably my oldest fan, so I would highly recommend checking out his video about me.
It bothers me so much that people just want to throw this label on this guy without actually looking at what he did. They just see a random comment and think that's good enough. You should not be trying to destroy people like that. Attacking someone's character when it has nothing to do with the argument at hand is a cowardly tactic that has worked too well over the past decade and needs to stop.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You're not funny.
Okay, Shady Do-Rag, I get that's your boy and all, and you have every right to defend him. But bro, don't do that. Don't do that.
So he's allowed to defend Jar. But he's also not allowed to defend Jar. You make no sense.
Y'all remember my last video where I talked about how some of Jar's black subscribers like to police other black folks' feelings? This is what I'm talking about. Because remember, he said people, so he's not just talking about PrisonMate Luke, he's referring to anyone who feels this way about Jar. And that is the first way to piss me off, because what do I always say? Do not tell me how to feel about racism. Like, we can agree to disagree, But don't act like we're crazy because we feel a way about Jar and that we don't know what we're talking about. Like, this isn't just a one-off tweet or a one-off comment. This is a repeated pattern of behavior over the course of multiple years. This man used a black avatar to mock black people.
No, he didn't.
He compared associating the Confederate flag with races to associating black people with crime.
No, he didn't.
He made that dumpster fire video with Trio Logic because he couldn't stay out of black folks' business for 5 seconds.
We call each other the N-word, but get vehemently upset when a white person uses the N-word.
I completely agree. I hate hypocrisy. So on my YouTube channel, white people are free to use the N-word just like black people are freely using it. Equality for all. Yay!
It drains my soul to hear the word, and I just don't understand how people who have any understanding of history can use that word.
Oh my god. So at first I thought you were going for, if black people can say the word nigga, then white people should also be able to use the word. But now I see you're saying that no one should. What do you want, the word to be illegalized? You know what? Just for that, everybody type in the chat that Alex is a stupid... I have just been informed by my lawyer that I should not finish that sentence.
Jar has already corrected this.
Oh, that's not all. That's not even the worst part. He has a video. He has multiple videos where he just says the hard R multiple times. One of them's during his Rice Scum and iDubbbz video, and I could dig up more if I wanted to make sure I don't get monetized. But here they are. Enjoy.
Oh, oy vey. I knew this would come up one day. I said it years ago on my old channel, and I don't think I have said it on my current channel, at least as far as I'm aware. Many other YouTubers have used the word, such as MrBeast, PewDiePie. There's a 2-minute compilation video of Pyrocynical saying it. Turkey Tom has said it. Keemstar has said it. Jake Paul has said it. Granted, those last 3 really aren't good examples at all. But I ultimately don't think it's really bad to say a racial slur as long as you don't call someone it. I was just quoting iDubbbz and another guy, and I've only said the hard R N-word in one video as far as I'm aware. I think I said the GA N-word in a few other videos, but on my current channel I haven't said it, at least as far as I'm aware. Of course Prismate Luke had to lie about this to make me look worse than I really am. Everybody has a different standard for racism. If you think I'm racist for just using the N-word, then that's fine. I can't really remove it because that account got hacked. And I understand that word does have history, so I don't call black people that word. Unless, of course, they're cool with me using the GA with them. But could you at least look up the definition of racism? I didn't discriminate against anyone, and I don't believe certain races of people have inherent traits. Well, maybe I do somewhat. White people do burn in the sun faster than black people. I don't know what the end goal of this whole race realism thing is. No, I decided to watch a lot of videos about why the N-word was offensive, and I don't think I can grasp it. It might be because I'm not black, and as much as I hate identity politics, black people and white people fundamentally do have different experiences. The reason why the N-word is more okay for black people to use is because it's ingrained in their pop culture. Just look at rap music. While I don't think my life is going to be ruined over this, I don't think it's right to try to ruin someone's life over it. I don't think I'm racist, but I can be ignorant and say things that are offensive. I'm just gonna apologize because, honestly, not saying a word anymore is not that big of a deal. Do I think saying sorry will stop the mob? No. Is it gonna be a mark of my reputation for a very long time? Yeah. Are people going to put me in those YouTubers who have used the N-word compilation videos? Probably. I didn't fully grasp the consequences when I said it, but as the old saying goes, ignorance is bliss. I think both black and white people need to stop saying the N-word because if black people don't stop saying it, then white people are not going to stop saying it. It is a double standard that black people can say it and white people can't say it, but hey, some double standards will always exist. But of course, Prismate Luke has to even exaggerate this point saying, I've said it multiple times in multiple videos, trying to make me sound as bad as he possibly can. But for some reason he doesn't have a problem with people like Turkey Tom or Pyrocynical using it, but it's bad when I use it for some reason. A lot of people told me they wanted to defend me from Prismate Luke's video, but because I said the hard RN word, they were afraid to. So I just want to say, sorry for saying the hard RN word. But let me guess, because he disagrees with you, he's not a real black man and he doesn't speak for all black people. Well, of course he doesn't speak for all black people. No one does. But it's pretty racist to take away someone's black card just because they disagree.
You're not funny.
Ugh, this man.
This woman.
But unlike a lot of people accusing me of things, Shady actually makes an argument. And he actually knows what the definition of racism is.
You ever feel so done that you just feel your soul leave your body?
That's how I feel right now.
You heard it here, folks. If you make accusations toward this man based on his words and his actions, you don't know what racism is. And you know what? Maybe Jar's right. Maybe I don't know what racism is. After all, I'm just a black woman who lives in the southern United States and Trump's America. So what the heck do I know, right?
Clearly nothing. Judging by this video.
A lot of people in the commentary community want people to change for the better and to work on themselves. But PrisonMate Luke just seems like a guy who wants to take people down and not give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, he made a video on me the day after I apologized.
Okay, so a couple things. One, PrisonMate Luke is a
White man!
So your apology to minorities isn't his to accept nor deny. Two, I know this happened like way into the future, but I, along with many others, gave you the benefit of the doubt until you show your ass in Emily's comment section. It's not racist if you don't call anyone it, and everyone does it. Would you rather have me lie about doing it?
Yeah, he didn't call people the N-word or any of those slurs. He was quoting people. It's not the word, it's the intent. As Shady Durags put it, it would make him racially insensitive, not racist. And before you play identity politics with me, he's black, so yeah. Not that identity politics will get you anywhere, but given how many people actually use these in arguments, I at least have to acknowledge it.
In that moment.
Also, everyone doesn't use racial slurs, what the hell? That's a lie. No matter who you are, you cannot tell me that you have not said a racial slur at least once in your life. Whether it was when you were a kid, teen, or an adult, we've all said the N-word or some slur.
And that's the video I'm going to be covering today. Just a robot is just a racist.
And we're just in general toxic. It was just blatant homophobia and racism, hidden under the mask of freedom of speech. And although there are a lot of channels now that had that phase, a lot of them grew out of it, but Jar didn't.
I completely disagree. I jumped off the whole anti-SJW bandwagon before the big downfall started happening. Granted, I did jump off not for any moral reason, but just because I was bored originally.
Sir, what? It doesn't matter if you don't consider yourself a anti-SJW anymore if you still hold a lot of those same ignorant beliefs.
Citation needed.
I love how the common argument is he's grown and changed, but even he admitted that the only reason he changed his content because he was bored. So like, had he not been bored, he would still be making this content. What? And I want people to remember, a lot of this content he re-uploaded to his new channel.
When?
So it's like, if you don't agree with it, why would you upload it again?
But I have done videos on anti-SJWs like No Bullshit, and I did a video called The Fall of the Anti-SJW Community, which PrisonMate Luke does show a clip of without any audio in his video. So I know for a fact that he has seen it.
Jar is a remnant of that era of YouTube, a person who thinks having the unpopular opinion makes it the right and cool one.
What? No, I absolutely do not think that at all. Granted, I do think having the unpopular opinion is a lot cooler than just following the crowd. But I have never said an unpopular opinion automatically makes you right. That is a straight up lie.
Luke never said that you said that having an unpopular opinion makes it the right and cool one. He was providing a brief description of what anti-SJW was. He never said it nor replied that it was a direct quote. Also, Jar somewhat agreed with what Luke said.
No, all he said was that having an unpopular opinion was cooler than having a popular one. Not that it made you right.
So what was the point? Like, he created a whole counter-argument in response to agreeing with the original argument. Does that make sense? Also, can we talk about how, in this specific context, following the crowd means being against racism and homophobia? So it's like, maybe don't admit that you think the opposite is cooler? And I know I'm nitpicking, but it's like, bro, you have editors. Like, you pay your editors to edit your videos. How did no one catch this?
I think my brain is making out of my
ear.
And I feel like he cherry-picked my video over the guy that he made a video on, Kai's, for two reasons. One, to say that I took things out of context, because I edit down my videos for the sake of time.
Wow, that's a pretty lame excuse, Luke. You just cut out a few seconds to save just a little bit of time.
Okay, so I'm gonna be skipping around a lot because, again, only care about the race stuff, don't really care about Luke. But the clip I played just now is gonna be very important for later. Remember, Gerard criticized Luke for cutting seconds trying to save time, which is a fair criticism, but I need y'all to remember.
Now we are finally getting into the parts where Prison Mate Luke is calling me a racist, at long last.
And the funniest part to me is that it's really easy to find it all. In fact, it started off like this. One of his first videos was on the Confederate flag, where the video just boils down to the flag isn't racist because there were black slave owners, and that just because a few racists use the flag, it doesn't make it racist.
No, that's not what my whole argument boils down to in any way, shape, or form. And I did say this about the Confederate flag.
I just want to make something very clear. I am not a fan of the Confederate flag. However, I do think censoring it will make things worse.
And this about the American flag.
Technically, the American flag is a symbol of racism. Under that flag, Americans have killed several Native Americans. Put Japanese people in internment camps just because they were Japanese. And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
This is the closest example I could find to me calling the Confederate flag not racist, even though I didn't say it once in the video.
Bro, it doesn't matter if you never said it exactly, you still made a whole video defending people's right to use the Confederate flag. Something that's considered a symbol of hate to many black people, myself included. Talking about, I don't support the flag, but here's the reasons why people should be allowed to support the flag. Like, it doesn't work like that. When you say things like this, you can't be surprised that people's main takeaway is that you support the Confederate flag, or at the very least it's okay to support the Confederate flag.
I just want to make something very clear. I am not a fan of the Confederate flag.
Now you wait, it don't mean none of that white supremacy.
Really? In 1863, an earlier version of the flag had a white background, which the designer said represented, and I quote, the supremacy of the white man.
Good job. You actually got something right for once.
It's about our historical legacy.
Yeah. No.
Yes it is.
The racist man who murdered 9 black people in a church stood with this flag in a photo celebrating the racism it stood for.
I'm really getting sick of people saying things like that. Just because a Boy Scout shot up a school, it doesn't mean they're all like that. What that man did was very wrong. However, you can't judge a whole group of people just because of one man's actions. Just because black people tend to be in prison more often than white people, it does not mean we should treat them any differently. So that's the end of the video. It wasn't really that hard to debunk, mainly because it was built on a straw man fallacy. But even their straw man fallacy falls flat. The redneck in the video doesn't seem racist at all. He just wants to enjoy the Confederate flag. And a bunch of kids are gaining up on him, forcing him to take it down.
I hate it when that happens.
In Germany, if you mention the...
I'm just trying to point out that the Confederate flag, while it can be a symbol of racism, it doesn't have to be, just like with the American flag. No nation or flag is perfect, and they all have a bit of a dark history behind them. All I did was mention there were black slave owners, and that's about it.
Okay. Why'd you have to bring that up?
You're not funny.
Oh, that's not all. That's not even the worst part. He has multiple videos where he just says the hard R multiple times. One of them's during his Rice Gum and iDubbbz video, and I could dig up more if I wanted to make sure I don't get monetized. But here they are. Enjoy.
Oh, oy vey. I knew this would come up one day.
You're a poet and I didn't know it.
I said it years ago on my old channel, and I don't think I have said it on my current channel, at least as far as I'm aware. Many other YouTubers have used the word, such as Mr. Beast, PewDiePie. There's a 2-minute compilation video of Pyrocynical saying it. Turkey Tom has said it. Keemstar has said it. Jake Paul has said it.
You're not funny. Oh, thank God. He's gone.